Good evening, students. In our earlier classes, we studied class 12th, second chapter, that is solutions. Today we discuss different chemical formulas and how can we solve the given numerical problem. So students, first we explain by how can we express different concentration terms. You can remember. At first one is mass by mass or W by W percentage. It means mass of solute divided by mass of solution. Mass of solute divided by mass of solution into 100. That is mass given in gram. So in this way we can identify. Second one, mass by volume percent. It means mass of solute divided by volume of solution into 100. That is volume of solution given in milliliter. And third one is volume by volume percent. This indicates volume of solute in ml divided by volume of solution. In all the formula we take volume, first solute and then solution into 100. This we already discussed. We are write only in brief. Third one is mass by volume also you can write. Another, if the component is very lesser amount, minute quantity, then we represent by parts per million. Parts per million also again we can write in three ways. Mass by mass, mass by volume and volume by volume. In place of percent, we write 10 to the power 6. Yeah, you can say number of component by total number of component into 10 to the power 6. Yeah, you can say mass of solute divided by mass of solution. Yeah, you can say number of solute by total number of solution into 10 to the power 6. We write in place of mass number if the component is lesser amount. That is W by W percent, mass by volume and volume by volume percent. Fourth one is mole fraction. Students, you know mole fraction is represented by X. If a given component, if 1 and 2, mole fraction of first component is equal to mole of first component by total mole N1 plus N2. We already discussed this. If the two component, then overall both the mole fraction is 1. Mole fraction of first component plus second component is equal to 1. We already studied this one. That is mole fraction. Another the parameter is molarity. That is denoted by capital M. Means mole per liter. Yeah, you can say mole of solute divided by volume of solution. That is molarity. You denoted by capital M, mole of solute divided by volume of solution. Mole, how can we identify? Mole means given mass. Given mass means W2 or WB divided by M2. And volume of solution means liter. So, if the volume of solution in ml, milliliter, then what happen? We divide by 1000. So, this molarity we can identify. Volume of solution in liter. Volume of solution into liter. So we already discussed this one, mole per liter. Other one is molality. That is important term. Molality, how can we identify? Molality, students, mole of solute divided by mass of solvent in kilogram. that is molality, it is denoted by small m, and molarity denoted by capital M. Mole of solute divided by mass of solvent in kilogram. Yeah, you can say unit is mole kilogram inverse. We can write. So generally mass of solvent given in gram. So how can we write? Mole of solute divided by W2 divided by M2 means mole of solute, and mass of solvent we write W1. If the mass is given gram, then further divided by 1000, that 1000 go to upside. So we write in such a way formula. So like this, molality denoted by small m, and that one molarity, mole of solute dissolved in volume of solution in liter. So these are some general expression of concentration. Next formula is Henry law. Henry laws. Students, what is Henry law? Solubility of a gas directly proportional to partial pressure over the solution. If partial pressure over the solution directly proportional to mole fraction of a gas. Earlier we already studied partial pressure like this, you already know, in a container that have liquid and gas present there. If you apply pressure, then what happen? This one is a solution and this one is gaseous state. So this one partial pressure, this one mole fraction. So partial pressure over the solution directly proportional to mole fraction of the gas. You can write partial pressure over the solution directly proportional to mole fraction of a gas. Then we can say P is equal to KHX1, that is gas. This one is Henry law, and we solve many numerical on these problems. Another one, Raoult's law. Raoult's law in two ways, if both the components are volatile. Students, we already discussed in a binary solution like alcohol and water present in this container, then what will happen? If you make a closed system, so this one is a closed system and we fix alcohol and water. So there is a partial pressure, that partial pressure of alcohol and water is directly proportional to their respective mole fractions. Yeah, we can say Raoult's law. Raoult's law. When both the components are volatile, then how can we write? Partial pressure over the solution, partial pressure over the solution, P1, P2, mole fraction X1, X2. Partial pressure over the solution directly proportional to mole fraction of the respective component. We already discussed this in detail. You can see in earlier videos. We only revise. When what will happen? If we remove the proportionality constant, we can write P naught mole fraction of the first component. Partial pressure of the second component is P naught 2 of the, in this way. So we can identify Raoult's law. Another law is Dalton's law of partial pressure. That is in 11th class already studies. That is P total. How can you find out? P total is equal to P1 plus P2. We know total pressure is equal to total sum of partial pressure of all the components. Other form of the Raoult's law is if a solute like salt, glucose, urea, non-volatile solute. If a non-volatile solute dissolve in this, then what happen? Then Raoult's law you can say, if non-volatile solute present in this, then how can we write Raoult's law? That Raoult's law is partial pressure over the solution directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent only. And if you remove the sign, then P naught 1 mole fraction of the first component. If the non-volatile solute, then definite their pressure is reduced. Delta P is equal to pure vapor pressure of component minus P1. So we know pressure is reduced due to non-volatile solute. So how can we write? We put the value of this partial vapor pressure already know. Substitute the value in this equation. Then what can we write? Delta P is equal to P naught 1 minus P naught 1 mole fraction of the first component. Here you can say solvent. But you students, you know, we want mole fraction of the first, mole fraction of the second component is equal to 1. Already we know. And we want to convert this equation into solute. So how can we take? We want to take common. So delta P is equal to P naught 1. If you take common, then 1 minus mole fraction of the solvent. Other one, how can we write this one? The mole fraction of X2 is equal to 1 minus mole fraction you can write. If this one, this go that side. So substitute the value of this into this equation. Delta P is equal to P naught mole fraction of solute. Yeah, you can say delta P divided by P1 naught mole fraction of solute. This one known as lowering in vapor pressure. Delta P means reduced pressure, decrease the pressure. And when they divide by this pure vapor pressure, that is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Yeah, you can say delta P is equal to P naught 1 is equal to mole fraction of solute. Delta P, in place of delta P we can write pure vapor pressure of component divided by this one. So this is also a Raoult's law. Earlier classes we explained this one. Henry law, partial pressure over the solution directly proportional to the solubility of a gas. This one, Raoult's law, if the solution both are volatile, then respective partial pressure directly proportional to their mole fraction. If third one is case is, if non-volatile solute, then reduced pressure. Yeah, you can say relative lowering in vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. So students, these are two formulas. T. Students, we know those properties depend on number of solute particle. They do not depend on nature. If the particle increase, the property increase. In this chapter, we already studied 4 types of colligative property. That one is case of the Raoult's law, like if non-volatile solute dissolve in the solvent, then relative lowering of vapor pressure. You can say first colligative property is relative lowering of vapor pressure. You can say pure vapor pressure of the component divided by pure vapor pressure of component, means relative lowering of vapor pressure is equal to mole fraction of solute. You can say mole fraction, mole of individual substance by total mole. If condition, if the solute is very, very less, if N2 is very, very lower than N1, we ignore this one, N1, then we can write this one, N2 divided by N1. P naught 1 minus P, we write such type numerical if the solution is very, very dilute. Otherwise, we solve this numerical. First colligative property. Second one, elevation of boiling point of the solvent, that is second colligative property. Delta TB means elevation of boiling point is directly proportional to molality. Molality already studied with this. So when we remove the constant, then what happen? We write Kb means molar elevation constant, ebuloscopy constant boiling point elevation constant, and this one we write. If you write m, then how can we write? Kb is equal to mole of solute. We can say W2 divided by M2 into W1 into 1000. If the mass given in gram, then we write the numerical problem this way. Another one, third colligative property is, third one is depression of freezing point. Depression of freezing point means delta TF, again directly proportional to molality. It also a colligative property. So remove the sign. Delta TF is equal to KFM. What is KF? Depression of freezing point constant, molar depression constant, or we can say cryoscopic constant. So when we remove this, Kf W2 divided by M2 into W1 into 1000 if the mass given in gram. So students, we solve the numerical problem by these formulas easily. Other one, last one colligative property is osmotic pressure. That is, you know, osmotic pressure in 11th class. That is ideal gas equation. PV is equal to nRT, that is for gaseous. But for in solution, we write in place of P pi V nRT. So how can we write? Pi is equal to N by V RT. So what is N by V? N by V is molarity. What is molarity? Mole of solute dissolved in volume of solution in liter. Or we can write CRT sometimes. So by this we will solve the numerical problem. So all these are colligative property. Last one is most important, that is easily measurable and more magnitude, and that can occur at room temperature. And those biomolecules, they are decomposed like protein, carbohydrate, DNA, RNA by very high pressure or low pressure. So that times we use this property, that is osmotic pressure. Means minimum pressure apply on solution side to stop the osmosis, known as osmotic pressure. If you have any problem, then you can see earlier video. Other one. Next chemical formula related on Van 't Hoff factor I. Students, what is Van 't Hoff factor? In yesterday class we discussed in detail what is Van 't Hoff factor. When we dissolve any solute in solvent, if either dissociate or associate, that time their molar mass, we find out that colligative property, that is not exact. Either that value lower or higher. So a scientist in 1880 introduced a factor that is known as Van 't Hoff factor. And so all the colligative property will change. First one, pure vapor pressure. Vapor pressure, lowering of vapor pressure is directly proportional to mole fraction of solute. So you write I. All the formula we can write I. This one. Other one is second, delta TB, means elevation of boiling point is directly proportional to IKBM. You can write second one. Third one, depression of freezing point, delta TF is equal to IKFM. That third one. Fourth one, how can we write? That is osmotic pressure. Pi denoted is equal to N by VRT. So we write the Van 't Hoff factor I in these all formulas. So Why we required the one-top factor? One-top factor introduced when any solute either associate or dissociate. When any solute dissociate, then one-top factor value I. If the dissociation, then one-top factor more than 1. One-top factor I more than 1 when dissociation. When molecule dissociate, that time more than 1. If associate, then one-top factor I less than 1. So these tell you dissociation and association. Another one is degree of dissociation. Students, how can the related degree of dissociation and association? So we can write degree of dissociation alpha is equal to I minus 1 means one-top factor divided by n minus 1. We already discussed this. What is n? N number of particles after dissociation. For example, NaCl, n value 2, potassium sulfate, n value 3. Another, what happen if association? This one is dissociation. For dissociation, we can find out. If association, then alpha is equal to 1 minus I divided by 1 minus 1 by n. What do you mean by n? N is dimer, trimer. If dimer, N2, trimer 3, tetramer 4. So by these formula, we can identify one-top factor, degree of dissociation or association. Other one is, that is equilibrium expression. If any acid, it dissociate like this, acetic acid dissociate when you dissolve in water, then what happen? It dissociate respective ion, acetate ion plus hydronium ion. So how can we write their equilibrium expression? That is, if this is C mole, initial concentration is C mole, then this one 0 mole, this one 0 mole. We earlier video already discussed at initial concentration when the reaction will start. Initial point. At equilibrium, after some time, what happen? This one C alpha formation, this C alpha, this one C minus C alpha. So how can we write equilibrium expression? We know concentration of product divided by concentration of reactant. Product means C alpha dot C alpha divided by C minus C alpha. What is alpha? Degree of dissociation. So we solve this equation, C square, alpha square, and when we take common, then 1 minus alpha. By solving this, so we write Ka or Kc, it means dissociation constant of acid. We can write Ka or Kc or K, equilibrium expression. Then we can write C alpha square 1 minus alpha. By this, we also solve the numerical problem, equilibrium constant. But sometimes, if you have to solve, then it's make the quadratic equation, that is slightly difficult. Sometimes again, if the solution is very, very dilute, alpha is very, very less than 1, then denominator alpha and degree of dissociation we can ignore. This one we can ignore. Then the numerical are more simplified, that is C alpha square by 1, means you can say K barabar C alpha square. So we can write this way, if the solutions, if degree of dissociation is very, very less. So students, these are some formulas given in chapter 2 solution. So now we solve some numericals.